You definitely want some water. Two. So just a reminder, I tagged all of you on Facebook so you can get the link from there and just share it. You can, while other people are presenting or while we're getting started, you can email, or not email, I'm sorry, you can inbox, send messages to folks to see if we can get some more people on. It's kind of just what I'm doing right now. All right, everybody, welcome to the Circulate Virtual Market. Appreciate all the panelists, all the vendors who are joining us today, and everybody else tuning in. So, you know, Circulate has been around for just over 6 years. We've had over 30 some markets. We're really a platform to have consistent access to locally sourced goods, you know, toxic-free products, unique cultural designs, and really create a place where not only can we gather as a community, but we can really celebrate the richness and creativity that really lies within the creative and the makers right here at home, and especially in Milwaukee. We are super Milwaukee proud at Circulate, and we're happy to be a consistent platform that not just offers selling opportunities, but also allows some of our local entrepreneurs to really to develop their business, to network and further their brands, and just be a part of a greater journey with this community. So the Circulate Market was created to offer a consistent selling platform for our local network of creative entrepreneurs, as well as preserve cultural knowledge and practices. We offer a very holistic experience and access to ethically sourced goods that promote community, health, and well-being. So when we say that, you know, one way that we've described the vendors of the market as being like the storytellers. They share their own history, they share their own journey, their intentions, and a lot of times when you go to a market or you're visiting one of our virtual markets, which we've had, this is our fourth one now. There's something to be learned. There's something that there's some kind of knowledge that you walk away with that makes you a little more better informed and connected to our roots here in Milwaukee, and some of our, you know, the richness in our culture and our history that is really deeply embedded in the intentions and the product themselves. So today we have Jessica, Pam, and Tasia, and we thank you guys for joining us. And we're really interested in just hearing, you know, your story and about your business and your intentions, and you know, just looking for some inspiration today. So I wanted to kick things off with Tasia. How you doing today, Tasia?
I am good. I am good. My name is Tasia. For everyone that don't know, I'm CEO of Barbiefied Collection. I started Barbiefied Collection back in 2017, so around like 3 years now. Everything basically started me off doing hair first. Before I did makeup and got into my retail business, I started with doing hair. And then I eventually started getting into makeup, and then makeup I eventually graduated doing into my retail, which I have now. I have also have a sweatshirt on that I sell, and these are $30. I have some white ones in different colors. Also, the hats are verified and borrowed as well. They're going for 20. These are the different colors and styles and everything that I have. I also a new product that I'm going to be introducing, but I won't be relaunching it until Saturday, June 6th, on my birthday, for my 30th birthday. So that was like a gift for myself. But I have these lipsticks and lip liners. They come in different shades. So I have like a red. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I have a red, purple, pink, and they come in these packagings like this. It also says my brand name on them as Barbiefied Collection. It's a Dow thing on those. And I also have some new items that I have arrived that I will be having on my website that I will be relaunching on the 6th as well. I have these jumpsuits that the girls like. It's real popular in the city right now. So it's pretty long. Got a little zipper. I have them in different sizes, small through large. Also got it in white as well. And also I have these sporty looks that's good for the summer for the girls that likes a little sporty look. Comes in small through large as well. And I also got it in black. Stretchy, good material. And then also my sweatshirts again that I have on as well. I have different colors. Some sold out because it was going pretty fast, but I also have tan, come in small through large as well. Pink, blue, everything will be added on later on. But yeah, that's my collection. And if you want to purchase anything, you can follow me on my Instagram at TasiaRed_ or my Facebook page at TasiaRed. And if you follow me, you will also get to see the new products that I have also with my new website that I'll have relaunching on Saturday, well, next Saturday on June 6th. So that will be everything. So I'm glad for everybody tuning in, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tasia. We had somebody ask the question, do you carry anything in plus size?
I do, but everything that I do have, they always run big anyways. But eventually, I will gradually go into getting bigger sizes because I
Okay,
know I get that asked a lot. That's like mostly the questions I get asked a lot is plus size.
okay.
But I
So, go ahead.
but I have T-shirts that's in plus size as well too. But I
Okay.
know everybody won't like into like the jumpsuits and stuff like that. So that is kind of hard to get into. But I will look into getting other stuff that is, that does come in plus size.
Would
But
it be possible for somebody who is interested in your products to inbox you and let you know what size they are, and you be
yep,
able to figure out if you can order for them
yep, I can
specifically?
pre-order. Yep, I can definitely do that for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so LaShawn, that's the answer. You can follow up with Tasia. I know she's got a lot of variety, a lot of dope designs. And so if there's something that you're interested in, just let her know and she'll work with you to make sure she can get your size.
hmm
So Tasia, what is Barbified? What does this mean?
Oh yes. Barbie 5 means I say it as a statement. Usually everybody always says I get my makeup done or I'm doing this or that, or I just say come get Barbiefied. It's like a statement for ladies that like to get dialed up, get their makeup done, nails, and everything in the beauty and fashion industry in that category. So
Okay.
that's what I mean by Barbiefied.
So tell
So when
me,
people say me, see me, they don't even say like makeup. They say Barbiefied. You know, they don't even say, can you do my makeup? Can you Barbiefy me? So I always went with that logo or whatever and that saying. So it went perfect with everything. So I ran with it, and that's how I ended up getting into making it as a brand.
see, I heard this. Tasia made up a new verb. You don't get your makeup done, you get barbified. That is super dope. Describe to me the difference between somebody coming in, they're dressed down, they're raw, face blank, and then they sit in your chair. What's the difference in the energy from the woman that comes in and sits in your chair versus the one that gets up and looks in the mirror?
Well, I get a lot when they do try to book appointments. I usually always get girls that never get their makeup done. So those would be the perfect girls to make as my client because once they leave my chair, they're always going to come back. And I make sure they always come back. And I'm always professional. I'm real nice. I'm funny. You know, I interact with them. So they respect that a lot. So that will make them come back more than just the makeup. But once they see the makeup, they be so happy, and it's a good feeling, especially when they always refer me to other people.
Right.
Oh, it's a good feeling. I like it. Love it.
So being able to appreciate participating and boosting another woman's confidence.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I know Barbified, like this is a brand you've been working on for some years, but you've really amplified like new product, getting into new things. Recently, what happened for you? How did you transition from like having this business to then all of a sudden just jumping into it the way that you have recently?
I say working at my old job. Um, I was just seeing how my old job was affecting what I really wanted to do, and it wasn't. I just couldn't see straight when I was working there.
Mm.
And well, my last before I quit, it was a lady that came up to me or whatever, and she was like pretty young, my age, around my age, and she came up to me and told me because I was just recently thinking like, what should I do? Like, should I quit right now? So it was basically a fear thing that I was fearing or whatever, and I was just looking for a sign, something to let me know like you head in the right direction, you know. But I wasn't thinking that then.
Yeah,
So the lady came up to me out of nowhere. She just stopped me and she wanted me to tell me. She said, "I want to tell you that God told me to keep following your dreams." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I felt all special. I was like, "Thank you." And she was like, "Don't thank me, thank God," or whatever. So like a week later, I quit my job and everything just started popping out of nowhere.
that's
And that's
amazing.
basically how I just went just straightforward and just kept doing it. And I was like, okay, so if I'm really just doing it like how I see it in my head, then everything just came together. So it was like amazing. I was shocked. So I was like, whoa. So that's how everything just started and progressed after that.
Right. That's beautiful. Thank you, Tasia.
Mhm.
So if you guys can check for the comments and we'll share with you again a little later. You can find Tasia on Instagram at Barbified, right?
Well, I say more on the Tasia Red underscore for that one. The Barfy I use, but I need to start using again. But mainly everything is on my Facebook and Instagram. Just Tasia Red, yeah, Tasia Red underscore for Instagram and just Tasia Red for Facebook. And eventually, I will be doing my website that I will be relaunching on Saturday, which is going to be www.barbiefiedcollection.com. So all that will be together on Saturday. New products, everything.
All right. Well, make sure to let us know when everything's ready to go, when you've launched, and Circulate be happy to also promote the launch of your website.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's always being a market for 6 years. We've had people vend with established businesses. We've had people do their very first release of a product at our market before. And we've had people as young as 5 to 7 years old and up. And so we're always excited to hear the story of our entrepreneurs who kind of jump out and really see their dreams come true and follow their vision by letting go of something that's not bringing them satisfaction in their work or professional life to really follow their dream. I think it's equally dope and important when people have careers and full-time jobs and they still create and have their businesses on the side too. I think it's just up to each person's individual desires and their ability to just recognize their dreams and find their own peace and happiness. So that's super dope. Thank you for that story, Tasia. And, let that also be an inspiration for anybody else who is itching to be brave and move in a different direction in your life. Because, if you put your energy and your intention into the right place, then you're going to experience some fruit from that.
Yes, I
Thank you.
definitely agree with that. I just say keep moving forward. Don't look back, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, especially if you feel it in deep down in your heart and your soul. You have to take on. You got to take it on because it won't leave. Especially if you dream about the same thing, you think about the same thing. You have to do it. You have to do it, and you'll be surprised at what the outcome will be.
That's right.
Definitely will.
Thank you. All right. So we started off with learning about the Barbiefied collection. It's a product, but it's also, you can get Barbiefied. You can make an appointment, get your makeup done, your hair done, your lashes. And we know that we'll be looking forward to that lip line coming out soon.
Yes, yes. I also sell lashes, ladies. Forgot about that. Forgot about that. The girls love the lashes. They go crazy over the lip. Let me show you.
What'd you say? Ladies love lashes?
Yes, they do. Let me show you. I just wanted to, show the lashes with the Barbiefied collection. I'm actually going to give you a little demonstration of how they look. The girls go crazy. These are like the best seller. These are the pretty in pink. These girls love these a lot. So they go crazy over these. They can't find mine nowhere else, so they always come back. Sorry you can't see me. But
So, and is it true that they can purchase the lashes to put on themselves, but they can also
Yep.
purchase them and have you put them on?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and the lashes come with the included with the full faces. I know some artists doesn't add those with their services or included, but mine are.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. And it lasts forever too.
All right, thank you. All right, so we are going to move on to our next presenter. I'd like to introduce Pam. Hi, Pam. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm Pamela Graham from Nandi Collections. I specialize in leather personal accessories as well as leather home decor. So I'll show you a few of the items that I've been working on lately. So I started these new keychains. I normally do, so with my home decor, I usually do like the larger mask. Can you guys see those in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I normally do the larger mask, and I think a lot of us know that like wall decor or home art that's, more expensive, you don't get to sell it as much. So I came up with like some smaller items that still represent the artwork and the mask that I really enjoy making. So I started doing the keychains. I also did like some tassel leather keychains. So I try to utilize all the leather that I have. So getting a big hide opposed to like wasting the small pieces. Just finding other things that I can do to utilize all the material without wasting. Here's some of the earrings that I also make, different colors. And they usually range between like $5 and $25 per pair of earrings. So a little history on Nandi Collection. So the name actually came from Shaka Zulu's mother. It actually represents a woman of high esteem. I thought it would be fit for the business. My grandmother's sister, her name is also Zula, which is derived from South Africa, and her her aunt's name was Zula. So the name was passed down for like 3 generations. So I just felt like the name Nandi Collection really fit the business well and represents my creativity. So the inspiration for my creativity, it really comes a lot from my family. My grandfather, he worked on wood. He would paint the woodwork in our house. He built chairs, tables. He was from Puerto Rico. My dad also, he painted statues when I was younger, and he used to sell them to like area barber shops in Milwaukee. My mother taught me how to sew, and she always used to wear feathers in her hair. So I think that's my addiction to just that feather style earrings. So with the combination of all those things, that kind of created me into the artist that I am today, and just having this love for art. Another component of my business is Sew Alive. And as much as I enjoy expressing my creativity and creating the artwork, I also feel, you know, the need to share the gifts. So I work with young people. Currently, I'm working maybe 4 times a week, just about 4 times a week at area group homes where I teach non-traditional art skills. So like leatherwork, woodwork, handwork, home decor pieces. And I work with assessment centers, group homes, a few shelters where I just go in once a week for an hour and teach, like I said, non-traditional artwork that they're most likely not going to be exposed to with like in a school setting or within their community. And that alone is probably the most fulfilling part of my business, just being able to share what I have and introduce new skills to young people and adults as well sometimes. So I know since the quarantine, I haven't been able to do a lot of my artwork because I was kind of stuck doing math. So I was able to teach my son, who's 12. He learned how to sew over the break, and he caught on really quick. Like, he's really good at it now. So we have done, gosh, I think over like 1,000 masks over the break. And if I didn't teach him how to sew, we wouldn't have been able to make so many. But we started doing like custom masks for people at their request. So this has occupied a lot of my time, and I really can't wait to get back to my art, even though I really appreciate the opportunity to still sustain the household by creating masks over the break, or just supplying a need that was in demand while we're going through all this chaos. What else? I don't know. Ask me a question.
Let people know how they can follow you, make purchases, learn more about your business and your products.
Okay, so I did list so I do sell out of 5 Points Art Gallery, which is on Port Washington and King Drive. And I did share that within the chat section. And then my Instagram is also on there. So they can go on 5 Points Gallery, their actual website, and purchase online. Also through Instagram, you can contact me. I used to do a lot of vending events, but of course now that it's shut down, that's not going to happen this summer. I am working on a website. It's slow, but it's coming along.
So would it be a smooth process if people went on your website, inboxed you about earrings and things like that? Would they be able to Cash App you and you be able to get their product to them?
Yes, and I provide in the chat, I provide the Cash App link. But yeah, if they can Cash App, if they see something they like, if it's local, I can do like delivery, or they can pick up.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that. Everybody has had to kind of get creative around how they can sustain their business right now. And, you know, it's like you said, when we had such a rich culture of markets in Milwaukee in the last couple of years, I mean, even beyond Circulate, it started to boom and more opportunities were presenting itself. And obviously, you know, with the pandemic, it became unsafe. Hence the reason why we're here now. So, you know, I'm just grateful for the way that so many creatives and entrepreneurs have really shifted the way that they're able to sell their products, making themselves available. We've seen entrepreneurs do drop-offs. We've seen porch pickups. We've seen mailing if you know that's what they want to do. But I've seen a lot of people really step into making themselves available in different ways that they haven't had to before. I want to take a step back because I learned something new. I did not realize that you did so much youth engagement. I know at one point we hired you for True School for a workshop with the youth. But I had no idea that that was such a big part of the work that you do. And with the Circulate Market, something that is consistent with our experience is being very family and child friendly. So we always have a children's area, and whenever we can, we have artists actually do some kind of teaching engagement with the young people. So I'm happy to know that, and I'm hoping when we finally get to gather again and have a physical market, I'd love to talk to you about leading up some activities in the children's area.
Yeah, that'll be great. I know that's one of my issues, and I expressed that at the last Circulate online, because the social aspect, the marketing, just being out here has always been a struggle for me in terms of just getting to where the people are.
Yeah.
And just being so busy, you kind of gotta, I think Gideon said, like, you have to be like available socially just to stay relevant in terms of what you do. And sometimes I feel bad because, like, where I lived the last time I was there 12 years, and like half my neighbors didn't know like what I do. So I think as an artist, a lot of us struggle with just letting people know what we do and just promoting our business. And sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like I sometimes even feel a little guilty just trying to get people to just buy stuff. Marketing is just not my area.
Yeah. So one thing, and I'm gonna invite anybody to make a comment on this in the chat box. Retail therapy is real. And so whether we are going to go online right now and, you know, go to different websites that may not be local, or however it is, Amazon, or when TJ Maxx was open, TJ Maxx, you know, we all have that time when we need to purchase something. And it you know, everything carries energy. And that is something I especially love about your product, Pam, is that I always feel like there's an energy that comes with it. So, you know, I've made my own purchases. I feel like I can have a genuine conversation with you about it. If you remember, we were at the art museum and you had a mask, and I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I was like, man, this is amazing.
Thank you.
You know, we talked about it, and you were telling me how sometimes it's just your spirit that drives your art in certain things that you make.
Yeah, I know. When my Aunt Zula died, I did not know that there were so many like Aunt Zulas in our family. So a lot of the pieces that I created, because even with the leather mask, I'm like, I've read and I've studied and I've seen things, but as natural as it comes, it just feels very spiritual to me. There's just this strong connection because, I don't know, it's like flowing water. Like it just comes so naturally. And in some way, I know it attributes to my family, and I can't wait to find out. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't know, I'm sure, I don't want to sound a certain way, but I'm sure a lot of artists feel like, how did I create this? Like, where did this come from? Yeah. And just amazed at some of the things that you create yourself sometimes. So, I don't know, it's heavy.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. And I also want to acknowledge, yes, I've seen you engage your son in the business, and he is a hell of a salesman.
Yeah, this is his piece right here, the blue one.
Okay.
And he was mad that it didn't sell at the art museum, and he was mad because I kept it. But I'm like, this is my favorite piece. Yeah. So he always talks about how he could have made $200.
And you know what? That's that entrepreneurial spirit that is still being continued to pass down in the families. And that's the other part. It's so important for us to share our journeys and our inspiration with our young people and then allow them to catch it in the way that is most natural to them. And so I have a young one. I understand that process. And it just really, it brought a smile to my face when he was at the art museum selling me earrings. I was like, wow, okay. And he picked some good ones, I must say. So, well, thank you again for sharing.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. And I'm sorry, I just gotta, and if you guys, again, if anybody has any comments, if you have any questions for the artist, please just share them in the chat box and we'll make sure that we bring them to the conversation. So Jessica, let's unmute Jessica.
Got it.
Welcome.
Hi. So my name's Jessica. My artist alias is Xeroine Illustration. It's Xeroine as in like the female hero, spelled with an X. So I'm a visual artist. I've been painting, drawing since I was a child. I went to school to major in illustration, so I do freelance illustration. When I'm not creating art for clients, I create my own stuff and I make prints. I sell originals. And my most recent product was this coloring book, actually, that I completed about a month ago. So when lockdown happened, you know, I was like, oh, I'm about to make all these, about to get into all these markets for the spring and the summer, and everything just started to get canceled, you know. So in a way, it kind of hurt my spirit because I was like, dang, you know, I had all these plans to like make all this new product and now I can't sell it. And that was a lot because I can still sell online. So because I wasn't feeling very inspired to make something new, just because, you know, you're locked in, and my favorite places to create are either at other friends' houses, somewhere open, or even in a coffee shop, because I'm just so used to creating with other people. So being at home by myself kind of like put a hold on that. So I went through old pieces and I retraced them, and like just a line so that people could color them in. So this is my newest product. So a lot of my pieces reflect what I want to see in art, which is Black and brown women. So I see myself in a lot of my pieces. Sometimes I accidentally draw friends that I am very close to in my pieces, whether it be like their hairstyle, like their nose shape, because they're very inspiring. You know, I have so many friends that are artists that sometimes they just end up appearing in my pieces too. The last big project that I did was actually this winter. I recreated the Zodiac series, and my goal for that one was to specifically represent women of color for every sign. Something that I was noticing when I was looking up inspiration was that all these illustrations of Zodiac pieces, you know, whether it be like figurative or it'd be like symbols, but more specifically, like the ones that were like portraits, they were all of white women, you know. So I was just like, well, you know, it's like I understand a little bit of the history of like the zodiac signs that we're familiar with, and you know, and they do have like some European like history, but you know, we also relate to those, you know, us Latina and Black women and Indigenous women, like we adapted to that, you know, and we follow these same, you know, stars and the same like symbols. So then I was like, well, I want to create a series that strictly represents women of color. And I did research on like crystals and specific colors, planets for each one. So this one, I don't know if you guys can see it clearly. Ooh, reflective. So this is my Aries. So yeah, I had fun with it. These are all digital illustrations. They're available on my website.
Can I request to see the Pisces, please?
Oh yes, of course. Here she is.
Beautiful.
Reflection. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like I said,
Can I see a Gemini one, if that's okay?
Yeah, of course.
I knew that was coming.
Let me see. Trying to get the reflection out.
That's super dope.
Thank you.
Yes. And how much are you selling those for?
So I have 3 different sizes for these. So this tiny one is a 6x6. I think on my website, I'm having like a COVID-19 special. So until we can finally go out, I have a little bit of a discount on there. But I think the small ones are 7. The medium ones, which are 8.5 by 8.5. These are, I think, 12.
Mm.
And then my largest ones, which are 12 by 12, they're either 15 or 17. But yeah, that's for now, while we're still in lockdown and aren't allowed to really do markets in person. So
And
all this stuff
what
is
is your
available on
website? I'm
What is
sorry.
it?
What is your website where we can make a purchase from?
Oh yeah. So it's Xeroine Illustration. I'm gonna type it in here in the little chat area.
We got a request to see Leo next.
Okay. Oh, that's me. I'm a Leo. I gotta make sure I'm spelling everything right. Illustration. Okay. So Leo. She's a queen.
Ooh, that is so beautiful.
Thank you.
I like the sunflower.
Thanks. I love sunflowers. So when I found out that that was the Leo flower, I'm like, now it has to be a part of me.
I didn't know
Forever.
that. Did not know that.
Yeah, so for the zodiac sign, you know, I wanted to look up symbolisms that go with each sign. So I looked up like different crystals for each one, the flowers or the plant, the planets, even specific colors. And I tried to represent each element, you know, because there's 4 different elements and each sign has, you know, belongs to like a certain category. But I wanted these symbols to be kind of not subliminal, but just, I wanted like the symbolism and the colors and so on to spell out the zodiac sign instead of me literally spelling it out, you know?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind just taking one piece of art and breaking it down for us.
Yeah.
There one.
Let's see.
So there, I have a very woman heavy family. I have 5 sisters, all my nieces and things like that. And one market, I walked up to Jessica's table and including that piece right there, and I bought a different piece for 7 different women in my family. Yes, please share about this one.
Yes. So this one's probably the one that I not necessarily thought through the most, but I guess probably has the most like significant meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like 3 or 4 years ago almost.
Can you pick that back up and show us why you talk about it? Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
There it is. Okay. Trying to avoid the reflection. So it's a mom holding a baby with the sun behind her. And I titled this one Mi Solecito, which means my little sun, but sun as in like the star. So a little play of words there. So a couple years back, I was asked to participate in a Day of the Dead show here in Milwaukee for the Walker's Point Center of the Arts Gallery. So I want to be intentional with my piece. So in this piece, I illustrated this woman who's holding a baby, and the baby has like a Day of the Dead paint, face paint on them. So what I wanted to represent in this piece was, you know, just the struggle and the loss of, you know, people who make the journey of leaving their home countries and trying to come here to the United States. Fortunately, not everybody makes it. Some people lose their children. You know, with how we are today, you know, we're seeing these children and families being separated at the border. So I really wanted to be intentional with this piece. And ever since I made this, I've seen this piece in so many of my friends' altars, and that makes me so happy. And I cry every single time they share a photo of it because that was the point, you know, I wanted to represent that, you know, there's loss, but there's also beautiful things that come with migrating and, you know, leaving your hometowns in order to provide a better life for your children and even for yourself, you know.
Thank you for sharing that and for being so honest and vulnerable with us.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. And I think that's, you know, your work speaks volumes, you know, and you have your own story behind your work. but I think that there's so many of us that see our own stories in your art. And you know, depending on our very own journeys, and there's so many difficult things happening around us and happening to us, the separation, death, illness, you know, just there's just so much. But it's like you said, there is so much beauty in who we are as people and in our history, and in who we are now. And so this is what I appreciate about all of you as artists, about all of you creating content that continues to carry on a journey of celebration and of joy and of hope, but it still acknowledges all the other things that also make life difficult sometimes. And at the end of the day, it's a hero's work, and it's legacy work. And so I just really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
Sure. So aside from illustrations, with some of them having like heavier meanings behind them, some of them having more fun meanings behind them, I do sell prints of my pieces. If you want to inquire about any specific originals, just email me. All the information can be located on my Instagram, which is Xeroine _illustration. Xeroine spelled with an X. I encourage all purchases to be done on my website. It's just easier to keep counts of like my inventory that way.
Okay.
Currently, just because I work in a hospital, so I really try not to have so much contact with people. Okay. I am only doing mailing orders right now, at least until I feel like it's safe for me to be around more people. For me personally, just because I am around sick people all the time, you know, so I wouldn't want to accidentally spread something. So everything is mail orders for now. I do also do t-shirts, as you guys can see in the background.
Yeah, somebody wants to know how much they are.
Oh yeah, so my t-shirts, I have, I think, 4 different ones on my website. They range between, I think they're all $25.
Okay.
Yes, but my sizes, depending on the design, because I haven't ordered any new stuff since, you know, all the markets so far have been canceled, but I do some of my yeah, no, that's listed in my website in the little tienda tab, the little store.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I very much so appreciate it. Let's open up this conversation to everybody to engage a little bit. To all the vendors right now, do you guys have, and this is actually in the comment box, do you have advice for creative entrepreneurs that are just starting? And, you know, I think this was the overall conversation. So let's start there. Do y'all have any advice for entrepreneurs that are just starting?
I would say to definitely utilize social media to connect with people and to promote their business, especially since, you know, that's something I continue to struggle with. But I think the whole promoting and just being around people who are doing similar things is very important and very beneficial to the business.
All right, thank you.
I agree with her. Social media is a big part of the fashion industry and makeup and everything like that. And it's the biggest platform to use for your business. As far as looking for vendors, it's going to be tricky, but that's just a part of the retail business or an entrepreneur. You got to do research. So that's a big part of enjoying and running a business as well. Is that.
Got to do your homework, in which all of you have clearly by your presentations. That research aspect is really important.
Then for any visual artists out there, honestly, create things that you want to see created, because at the end of the day, there are other people that also want to see what you make. Other people want to see your vision too, so make what makes you happy, make what you want to see, because at the end of the day, there is clientele behind it. In terms of like marketing, as a visual artist, I personally really love Instagram. And it's a good platform to see other artists too. And, you know, that's how I get inspired on, you know, either what I'm creating, what new products to make, you know, so it's just like, it's a good resource to study in and to connect with other artists and even like trade art. That's, you know, it's not always about like selling. It's also, you know, about like being able to trade with other artists so that, you know, everybody has their own collection at home, you know, because even as an artist myself, like sometimes buying stuff is hard, you know. uh, let's see, what else? Prints are amazing. The one thing I love about prints as opposed to selling only originals is that prints are more accessible and they're more affordable. And that's my thing with art. Art has been, how do I explain it? It's promoted to where it's almost not necessarily elitist, but in a way it is, you know, like when you go to artist auctions and stuff like that, it's always about who can pay the most. And it's like, well, everybody should be able to enjoy art because anybody can be an artist. And not only that, but a lot of artists, a lot of people that, you know, we admire were either poor, they were marginalized, they were, you know, the outcasts. So a lot of the time we forget that then artists aren't always like the, you know, we're regular people. We,
Yeah.
but you know, it's always artist buyers who make it seem like art is only supposed to be accessible for those who can afford it. And that's something that I'm very against of. So that's why art being accessible is very important to me. So I try to keep my prices affordable, and also prints, because prints are, you know, like I said, they're accessible, they're affordable, and everybody deserves to decorate their home with local art.
Yeah. And you know, that's really good, Jessica, because two things that you said are some things that we consider with Circulate. One, you know, at the time that we started it, the markets that were available and people could participate in, it was mainly people, affluent people from outside of Milwaukee, who were able to afford the selling experience. So even when you're talking about being able to purchase art as being elitist, it was also felt like a pretty difficult task for folks who did not have lots of money to invest in the process as well. And then you even think about the investment that you have to make into even creating your product to sell to make money back. And so even like all those considerations, you know, are some of the things that really motivated the Circulate market. And then even that culture of bartering and trade, that is so important, especially as a community. Yeah. And that's why having a regular platform to be able to interact with other artists and have a diverse opportunity to get different needs. You know, sometimes you think that we become so dependent on capitalism and Walmarts and all these different big businesses who really they take from the community, but they're not great at giving back to the community. They impact environmentalism and all these different things. So by kind of putting more visibility onto our own ability to give what we need at a market, from your from art to jewelry to clothing to bath and body products to food to spices, candles and all these other things, we kind of start shifting our understanding of where we are able to access what we need. So I really appreciate that. And also having a range of prices, you know, having things like you said, prints are a little more affordable, but hey, who's to say who can or can't afford an original?
Right.
I'm interested to hear from you guys about custom work, where you're at with people reaching out to you and making requests.
Sure. Can I go first on this one?
Sure.
Okay. So like I said earlier, I am a freelance illustrator. I usually try to stick to either like portraits. I love making portraits, and my thing right now has been doing couples portraits. So my email is listed in my website and also on my Instagram, but also if you're looking for product design, so I've done a couple book covers, I've done album covers, t-shirt designs, stuff like that. I'm strictly an illustrator and a painter, so I don't really do graphic design, so no logos or stuff like that. Anything that requires an illustration for branding, for t-shirt design, for sticker designs, anything like that, let me know.
Awesome. Anybody else on customized experiences or requests?
I do, well, I have done a few custom orders for dresses. So I used to sew a lot and take part in fashion shows here in Milwaukee, which I don't do as much now, but I still do get custom orders for like dresses. So I'm currently working on 2 dresses for someone who I have designed for in the past. And then I do offer like wholesale purchases on the earrings and the fanny packs that I make. So the smaller items I do offer wholesale for people who may not provide that product, but they want to sell that product or add it as an accessory to what they already have.
That's dope. It's the first time we've heard somebody offer wholesale. That is awesome.
Right. But as far as me, I customize as far as colors. I don't do customize as in like the lettering and what what you want to say on there or whatever. But I do customize by color, and I do get some orders about like kid sizes because they want to match, with their kids or whatever. I could probably do that. I gotta look into doing that though. But customized colors for sure. I know I can do those.
Awesome. Thank you. So I want to ask a question and then we'll kind of wrap things up. And I really appreciate all of your time and energy and thoughtfulness in this process. Let's talk about women. What do we want for women? What do we want for the experience for women when it comes to entrepreneurship and just being successful? Just throw it out there in that way. Whoever can go.
Okay. I know one thing, like I always admire like the younger people in their 20s and 30s, because I'm like, they got it made in terms of the accessibility on social media just to promote their business and just put whatever ideas they may have out there. I think that now is a good time for women in business. And I think for those of us who are like semi-established or those of us in a position like we are, that we could take the opportunity to assist younger people who, have the same aspirations or who also want to get into the business of fashion or art. So I would say that we do have a responsibility to share what we have and understand that, yes, there is enough for everybody, to where we don't have to keep it to ourselves. Even if we do the same thing, even if we do the same type of art, there's enough to go around, because in Milwaukee, it's a little heartbreaking that a lot of people feel like, okay, well, if I support this artist, I can't support you. And I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's enough to go around. So I think as women, we have the responsibility to leave a seat at the table for other people, for other women, whether they do the same thing or something totally different.
Awesome. Thank you, Pam. Anyone else?
Yeah. So for me, even when I'm looking to shop locally, I love searching for like women-owned businesses and women of color-owned businesses too. I think it's, a wave that needs to be ridden right now. So, if you're starting a business, use those hashtags to your advantage, because people are out here looking for that. If you are using social media to promote your products, your business, make sure you're using hashtags that are, that link people to your product. So, I often try to use either like Latina artist or Latina illustrator, and stuff like that, because, there are people who are specifically searching for things that they can relate to, so I don't know, just because there's a lot of, not that there's a lot of, but, there are women who are already established, just because there are already businesses by women who are already established doesn't mean that there's no room for new people, So if you see that, don't see that as like a competition, see it as like, oh, it exists, there's space for it, and I'm about to join in the space, instead of seeing it as like a, as a challenge, or, as a sort of competition, because that's also unfortunate. A lot of people see something that they want to do already being done, but everybody has their own magic, everybody has their own talent, so nothing is ever going to be the same. So if you see somebody doing it, that doesn't mean that there's no more room for it. That just means that there's already a platform for it, and you should hop onto it.
Yeah.
So that's my take on why more women should create.
Well, my input will be just believe in yourself. That's the main thing. Believe in yourself. Keep going. Never give up. I know it's always going to be bumps and bruises down the road, but that's okay, because those are learning experiences that you have to go to in order to become successful. Don't just be discouraged because someone else is doing the same thing you're doing. Like I always hear the example of, there's plenty bread when you go to the grocery stores, but as many of them. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see me. Can you guys see me still? Hear me?
Uh-huh. Yeah, we can see.
Okay. But I just say don't be discouraged, because it's plenty of people doing the same thing. It's all about customer service, how you deliver your product, and how you treat customers, because those are the reasons that they keep coming back and they're going to shop with you. So that's my advice for that.
Thank you. And all really great advice, because, there's plenty magic, there's plenty medicine, and we have so much to offer. It's like Pam said, there's more than enough to go around. When you go to a department store, you're going to see multiple brands. There's no department store that just commits themselves to one line of clothing or one kind of jewelry or one kind of makeup or anything. So it's sometimes it's just this small mentality, but we're holding ourselves back by holding on to that mentality, and we just got to break free from it. And I'm really going to say collaboration is key for us to work together, to be able to learn from each other as far as best practices as it relates to our business, to be able to resource either like Jessica offering drawing services and supporting other people creating their own products and things like that. So think outside the box in the collaboration, because one thing I've heard from a lot of women in their experience is, if you're sometimes you got to deal with unhealthy or unpleasant people when it comes to finding who can support you with your website, building your website, or helping you create content, or find a vendor, as Tasia was saying. So we have a lot more women in the game right now who can share best practices and support you along the way, because you're right, Tasia, depending where you're at, it can be discouraging when you get mistreated in the process, or you feel like, you're being discounted when you're trying to help somebody see your vision. So in that sense, I appreciate all of you guys for presenting, for sharing, and, for just offering the advice to everybody. The Circulate Market, we are going to continue with these virtual sessions. You guys can follow up. Let's get the screen on with their IGs. So you can follow up with them. These are their Instagram accounts here. And I know that they also shared some different ways for you to get a hold of them. But if you can go to their IG accounts, you'll be able to find links to their websites, their Facebooks, and everything else. Follow up with these vendors. Make sure that you support. They've all offered potential for you to make specific requests or custom experiences. And, you know, stick with us. We will be here next Thursday, 4 o'clock, and we look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you to all you creatives and vendors, and have a beautiful week.
Thank you. Have a good week too.
All right. Jessica, what'd you say? You gotta unmute yourself.